The time is now to tell every single woman on earth, every single government, that yes, pregnancy is a heightened time where women should be inspired and empowered.
Françoise has spent a good part of the past 30 years living among and studying the childbearing and healing ways of a small group of indigenous people in the Amazon jungle of Peru. She's even lived and worked there during each of her 4 pregnancies.
People said, oh, you come here to be pregnant because you white people have lost the art of doing things. I thought there was quite a lot of truth in this. I was doing a census of maternal mortality, not finding any maternal mortality in the forest. The maternal mortality came in the shanties and outside, but there was no. They knew all the tricks, and I'm still today teaching these methods to European midwives. They knew how to turn babies, they knew how to untrap a cord, they knew how to stop a hemorrhage, they knew how to control a premature baby with natural kangaroo care. So I learned everything by touching and by feeling, and I learned to read the body energies like they do, and to see the fetuses inside the women's bodies. And don't ask me how one learns this, but you can learn it. Everybody can learn it. And I was initiated, and in the Amazon, it's not growing a baby's body that matters so much as growing a soul, because being human is having a soul, and throughout your life you grow your soul.
Amimo Agola is a cosmopolitan woman who lives with her husband and young daughter in Nairobi. She grew up in Kenya, studied, lived, and worked in America, Europe, Asia, and across Africa with various non-governmental organizations and the United Nations.
I'm an infant and young child feeding counselor. I've never seen so many problems in my life. When I started my career, I mean, as I said, I was helping women in great need, and things that most women would need help with. Relactating, you know, a 70-year-old grandmother is not something that most grandmothers need to do. So they would tend to need a bit of help. But now, everywhere you turn, many of these women are looking outward to get support for things that they have the knowledge of. And if they don't, they so often have a woman beside them who has the knowledge, or who knows another woman just up the path or up the road who may have the knowledge. It's a social issue. Everybody has to be involved in creating this stable cocoon. The mother has her own womb, and then there's a womb around them. Without that support, the woman begins to doubt her own innate knowledge that she has to care for and to bring forth her child and to raise her child. People think that they have to look far into the distance to other people, to other communities, for solutions for which they have within them, within their local community.
Laura Uplinger is a visionary and a mother. For the past 35 years, she's focused her life upon the power that pregnant women everywhere have, if only they know it, to shape the mind and heart of their child through their inner life and imagination. She personally has taken this message to the slums of Rio de Janeiro, reminding women in dire poverty of their true strength. And she eloquently and viscerally reminds us that birth and the primal period, especially the mother-baby bond, is everybody's issue. We women and men, she says, are the pioneers.
It's interesting, growing up in several nations, I could understand that we were all one, And this was before the New Age concept that we are all one. One of the very first teachings that I came across, and this was in the mid-70s, was that the imagination of a pregnant woman is all-powerful during pregnancy. Conception might be the very most important moment of your life. Pregnancy is a moment of utter power in the making of every cell, of every tissue in the body of the mother. That's where the key is. I dedicated my life to tell that, but backstage, to every pregnant woman I would meet. Went up the slums of Brazil, of Rio, telling the mothers about the freedom they had to love their baby when the baby was still inside. And yes, the babies were receiving their thoughts. They loved it. When you tell somebody in a slum that they don't need to take any pill or buy anything, it's just the singing that they're dedicating to their baby in the womb is reaching the baby. It brought them great joy, and they taught me so much. And suddenly the placenta, instead of being an organ of protection to the baby, yes, protection against some big molecules perhaps, but it was instead an organ of transfer, almost like an amplifier. If I drink a cup of coffee, of course I'm Brazilian, if my baby is 20 times smaller than I am, my baby is drinking practically 20 cups of coffee. We knew breastfeeding was important. In ancient Rome, when a wet nurse would die, on her tomb, the names were written of the children she had breastfed. In the Jewish tradition, I know that when a wet nurse would breastfeed a little boy, and years later a little girl, they were not supposed to get married. They were licked by the power of that milk.
I assisted at my first birth by chance, or perhaps it was destiny. When I was 16, and I have been caring for birthing women and attending birth continuously for 40 years. At the first, I went to university to be a journalist, but soon a passion to assist women in birth changed the course of my life. For me, every birth I attend is a unique experience. I have counted over 2,000 births that I have attended. I learned wherever I could, from whomever I could. I was constantly learning and still am. I believe in the value of natural medicine and was studied the use of clay and plants as medicine, as well as nutrition as a source of good health. I discovered over the years that if I paid close attention to the woman during her pregnancy, if I gave this mother information about the relationship between diet and how the baby developed in her womb, and if she took care of herself and prepared calmly for a physiological birth, then the baby was healthy and the birth was easier too. I want the woman to be the true heroine of her birth, and I have deep respect for natural, physiological birth. I always knew the babies were sentient beings. From in their mother's womb, I always knew that I would not be able to contribute to changing this world as a journalist. But I thought I could modestly contribute to make a better world, working for a change in the way each of us is welcomed into the world, by profoundly respecting both the mother and her child. In my experience, a child born into the world gently, peacefully, especially at home, is more likely to be peaceful when he grows up. It starts when babies are not made afraid of this world. For me, children come first, but it's impossible to separate a baby from his mother. I tell new mothers, forget later on. Give to your baby now. We must not impose upon our children our fears and limitations. If we do that, we cut their wings. But my biggest concern right now is to teach mothers that they are able to heal their children, their families, and themselves with simple things that nature provides and are always handy. There is no need to run to a doctor every time there is a problem.
Why can't we give to our planet a better human material? Are we women responsible for the mediocrity of our civilizations? Well, yes, we are. Should we despair? No. We should embrace the understanding of this new power. Every village, every town, every city could have a special place, a park, a place of beauty, a place with fountains and trees, and perhaps places where women can embroider, sing and learn and study and teach and act, all the art crafts, all the arts of every community at the disposal of the inspiration of the pregnant ladies, and also that they can be brought together. Have you ever been pregnant? Have you ever seen, when you were pregnant, other ladies pregnant? Have you laughed together? Have you felt that trust that comes from the synergy of all these wombs? This is my wish for humanity. Joy, as far as biochemistry is concerned, would be the most perfect blood formula so that our organs are healthy. Well, for a pregnant woman, even more so. So I have dedicated my life to joy in pregnancy and the imagination of pregnant women, always being a proponent of the life of the baby inside. It goes both ways. What you do for a baby in the womb, you're also doing for the mother, and vice versa. We don't know if a woman around the corner is pregnant with a new Mussolini or a new Gandhi. And then we are going to spend so much money repairing. Look at health care. Let's make it well, this new little human being. Somehow, society never empowered its women to be pregnant. Invest in the quality of a pregnancy, especially the joy. Let women be in their knowing. A baby wants a powerful mother. Many women consider my kind of speech as a disempowering one, because they're used to that power we finally have conquered, to be in a workplace, to be productive, to be chief executive officers of our own enterprises. Well, if they dare looking into this adventure, few things in life can be as empowering as being a mom, a real mother. What would be conscious sexuality? Thank goodness for correct contraception. Thank goodness. But now can we use it towards conscious conception? Could sexuality classes be given with the awesome power we have to conceive?
Birth and the primal period. Everything that shapes us, from before conception to our first birthday. What do we humans need to truly thrive? Do we develop in trust or in fear and defense? That is the critical question cell biologists and neurophysiologists are asking. That is the critical question for the future of humanity. Meeting every mother baby's needs. Here lie the roots for the well-being of each one of us and our global family. As we focus on birth and the primal period, here lies the true possibility for at last creating peaceful societies.